Hi guys, my name is Savvy, and in this video I am going to speak to you about the inner critic. I am going to describe to you what the inner critic is and help you identify its tone and nature and show you ways how you can transmute your inner critic into a positive one that can help you live a much more happier, healthier, and successful life. Healthier because a positive inner critic leads to a better mental, emotional, and physical health. Happier because a positive inner critic influences the outlook of yourself and your life. And successful because when you feel better, you do better, you attract better. So with that being said, I'm going to describe to you what exactly is the inner critic. So the inner critic is a stream of thoughts that goes through your head throughout the day. It's somewhat of a narrator. According to an article on Psychology Today, the critical inner voice is a well-integrated pattern of thoughts, of negative thoughts towards oneself and others that is at the root of the individual's maladaptive behavior. And some examples of maladaptive behavior are avoidance, withdrawal, self-harm, or self-sabotage, and substance abuse. And none of these behaviors lead to better health, a happier life, or some more success in your life. They actually lead you away from it. So it's best to try to get away from those type of maladaptive behaviors, and we do that by being aware of our inner critic, and in general, our thoughts. Thoughts create emotions, and thoughts influence behavior. So if your thoughts are making you feel bad, you end up engaging in bad behavior or maladaptive behavior, and that ultimately affects your self-esteem, your physical health, and your emotional health. So this is why I really find it important to bring light to what the inner critic is, because it is really important for you to be aware of it in order to be in control of these things, because ultimately you are in control. Now, identifying the nature of it, right? So if you notice that your inner critic is negative, and it could be abusive, it can be critical, it can be judgmental, it can be counteractive, that's where you need to check it, and kind of put a stop and say, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm not going to allow for this type of talk to continue within my head. It is not beneficial for my well-being, my health, or my success, not for my life. So this is awareness is key. Once you identify its tone, if it's negative or is it positive, is it abusive or is it uh, constructive? These are things you must identify. Once you do that, you can move on to the process of transmuting these negative thoughts, transmuting or changing these negative thoughts to positive ones. A thing about the inner critic, it's a well-integrated pattern of thoughts. So it's a habit. So right now, what you are about to commence is integrating a new habit into your life. But it is a habit that will benefit you for the rest of your life and in all areas of your life. This is where it starts. What you plant, what seed you plant will grow. And those seeds I am referring to your thoughts. So you would like to move on and identify, reflect, and process on the kind of specific thoughts you are constantly having, because they are a pattern. Become aware of the pattern of your thoughts. Become aware of that inner critical voice that you have towards yourself or towards life, towards others. Question the accuracy of those thoughts, the rationality. Are they valid or not? Everyone must do this. This is not just for a specific set of people. This is for everyone. Question the reality of it. Is this really accurate for me to think, you know? And I say this because this can help bring up to the surface the type of self beliefs that you have towards yourself and life. And you must always question those set of self beliefs you might have, because they might be very wrong and negative and counteractive. It's like your own little built in bully in your head, you know? And it's not true, you know? And that's where you find liberation, emancipation of the mind. And this is what I feel like so many of us need. But it's all about awareness. So, a few exercises that can help you identify the thoughts you're having are very simple. One of them is you grab a piece of paper, fold it in half, and write out on one side the thoughts that you notice you constantly have throughout the day. It's like study yourself, be the observer of your mind. Write them down on the left side hand column, right? Whatever you like. Once you identify them and you can see them, on the next column, think of the opposite of a thought that you can replace that negative thought with. So whenever that thought does come up, you can practice by replacing that thought with this positive thought. An example can be, I never succeed at anything that I try to achieve. When you start having that type of self-doubt, or you hear that thought come into your head, say, hey, I actually wrote down, I can achieve anything I set my mind to and want to do. I achieve and succeed in all that I do. See, right then and there, you can start implementing that positive thought to replace that negative one. And notice how it makes you feel. Because when you're thinking that you can't achieve something, you feel your self-esteem is affected, your emotional health is affected. And then you don't feel so good about yourself. So what is the likelihood of you going after what you're trying to achieve if you already are thinking that you can't or don't achieve anything? Versus, I do achieve, I can do whatever it is that I set my mind to do and achieve whatever goal and dream that I want. Then you feel different, you feel more empowered, you have this sense of belief, a drive, a motivation. Like, yes, I can do this, so I am, and I will, and I can. Big difference. So this split page exercise is excellent for that. And it's excellent because whatever you write in the positive column of what you want to replace negative with positive, you can use that as affirmations. And these affirmations is what's going to help you change the thought process of your mind. You just have to repeat them. Sit down and meditate. Even if it's for 5 minutes a day, begin. And you can meditate by using your affirmations. If you're constantly repeating to yourself the positive things that you want to replace the negative things with, repeat them 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. It helps because it helps change the way your brain thinks. It sounds so simple, but it takes patience, consistency, and commitment. Because in order to create the momentum, to create that change, to manifest that change, if you give up easily, it will not happen. The mind easily tends to drift over to the negative, then to the positive. So You must go against whatever resistance or discomfort you might feel from trying to replace the negative with the positive, or from trying to create a new habit. Because to be honest, you will feel a resistance within that will feel more comfortable for you to just remain believing that you're not going to achieve anything. It's always been like that, right? Well, have you ever thought that it's always been like that because you always thought that way, so you always made it happen because you were unaware of the behaviors you were engaging and the emotions those thoughts were making you feel? It ties to your success. You see where I'm getting to? Ties to what you for the happiness in your life. It ties to your emotional health, and it ties to your physical health, because when you feel like crap, it does literally deteriorate your body. Stress deteriorates your body. Negative emotions deteriorate your body. And we're human. We're going to experience them at one point from time to time. But the key is to not dwell on them. But thoughts create emotions. Emotions can create illness. So be aware of your thoughts. Go against the resistance. This is all about being your own coach. Only you can get yourself out of the mental slumps. So do it now, because that's what you want. Nobody's going to come and save you. Nobody can change the way you think. No one can change your thoughts for you but you. A few other things that I want to tell you: post-it notes or applying self-reminders, journaling. These things can help you change your thoughts throughout the day. I love to put self-reminders on my phone, and I can be going through a hectic day, and in the middle of the day, my phone will buzz and I look up and it's a reminder telling me to smile, to remember the things I'm grateful for, that I can achieve anything I set out to do, that I am a confident, beautiful, strong, full of wisdom, things of that nature. And it just helps bring you back, especially if you end up becoming a little bit out of focus from where you're trying to maintain your thoughts at. If you try to maintain them to be positive, well, you might drift off a little bit because it's habitual. You have been habitually thinking a certain way for years and years and years and years. So these things help bring you back to be grounded and centered in what it is that you want to do, the way you want to think, the new thought patterns you want to have in order to create that inner critic, to change that inner critic, those thoughts towards yourself, to be positive and loving. Think nurturing. Think of you nurturing your mother, your father, or your son. Maybe you're an animal lover, and your dog. You treat them with so much love and kindness and patience. That's how you must treat yourself. Post-it notes. I love them because I post them everywhere, throughout my room or the bathroom or whatever, and they'll just remind me of what it is that I want to think, that I want to achieve, the way I want to feel. I write it all down, and it just helps. And it's just repetition, repetition, repetition. And that's how it will end up changing. And as time goes on and you commit to creating these new habits and being constantly aware of the way you're thinking, it will become easier and it'll become second nature, to the point where you just do it like autopilot, And a lot of us live in autopilot, but if you're gonna be on autopilot in some sort of way, like, be conscious of the type of autopilot you're on. Don't be on a negative stream or state. Be positive. So this is how crucial it is to have a positive inner critic. It's really crucial for your self-esteem as well. You know, don't make yourself feel like crap. Empower yourself. Love yourself. And our minds are so powerful that we can direct it to create the life that we want. It's all about being aware of our thoughts, because our thoughts create emotions, influence behavior, influence our well-being and our physical, emotional, and mental health. So if you want a much happier and healthier life, check yourself before you wreck yourself. If you end up engaging in substance abuse or other maladaptive behaviors, it'll create more problems and more problems, not really solution. It's not really a solution to anything. It's just kind of adding more dirt to the pile, if that makes sense. Where thoughts go, where thoughts go, energy flows. Where attention goes, energy flows. Sorry. And this all ties with the perception of life. Through which lens are you looking at life right now? You know, like different shades of glasses. If it's negative, it's negative. But if it's positive, your life will be positive. Your life will be better. And it's just a matter of going against the resistance, wanting that change. Thank you for listening. If you find this the video helpful, please share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much, and have a great day.